It's another day at Creative Warehouse, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm excited. My name is Sammy Joe, and today I'm going to be showing you how to dive into a bowl or a bucket. So imagine yourself diving into a bucket for a bath. Crazy, right? Check out this video. I'm sure you're wondering what I'm about to do. Well, I want to swim, and I don't have a swimming pool. So this is what I'm going to use. Watch how I make it happen. Woohoo!
Nothing juju be that.
Oh, having a good time, guys. See you later. Alright, what we did in this video was nothing but a trick called forced perspective. This sort of trick doesn't require any serious editing. I mean, nothing sophisticated, because majority of the trick is done while shooting. So once you get it right, during the shoot, I mean, you've done 80% of the work. To create this effect, what I did was put my camera at a low angle. So it was basically on the floor, and then I put a big bowl in front of it so that the bowl will tower over it. So the essence of this is to make the bowl big and create a distance between the bowl and the background. The next thing was to make sure that the foreground and the background was the same focus. For this sort of effect to work, the background shouldn't be blurred out, right? So you have to make sure that the foreground and the background are same focus. And to get this right, you need to increase the number of your aperture. And by doing that, you're reducing the exposure, right? So once you increase the number of your aperture, you're reducing the exposure and you're reducing the shallowness of the background. So the idea is to make the foreground and the background same focus. One thing to note is that you do not touch your camera once you have locked it. You perform everything on one take. Once there is any mistake or camera shift, you start afresh. After I did that, I kept some good distance between the ball and the background, right? So I ran to the background, climbed on something. You can look for anything and make sure that it is not above the height of the ball or your bucket in this instance. From that height, I jumped and bent on the floor. The bowl is now concealing me in the background. And then I ran to the tap to pour water all over me. Then ran back to the same spot and bent down. Knelt down, came up and had the bowl up to this point. So I looked as though I was inside the bowl. So that's what a forced perspective is about. And then after my performance, I had to get the water splash out. And how I did that was I just got a stone. You can get anything heavy that would make the water splash. Fill the water to the brim on the bowl, right? And then throw it inside the bowl. Word of caution, please keep a safe distance between your camera and the bowl so you do not wet your camera. The trick is use a zoom lens so that you can keep a safe distance and zoom the camera closer to the bucket or the bowl. Quite frankly, I did it a couple of times. For some reason, I just wasn't getting the right perspective and all of that. So I did it a couple of times. I mean, you just do it a couple of times to get the right shot. And once you're done with that, that's literally all you need. The next thing is throw it into Premiere Pro. And then in Premiere Pro, drag the first part of the footage onto the timeline, which is up to the point right before you enter the bowl or bucket. Next is you bring in the shot of the water splash. Start the clip right after the stone disappears into the bucket. Then place it on top of the footage. Then go to your effect control, pick the pen tool and mask around the bowl on the footage on top. Once you're done, then start animating the mask to reveal the water splash. So as the water goes up, you animate it up. It doesn't have to be precise, just a random mask animation does the job. To make it more realistic, you duplicate the first footage and bring it at the top of the water splash footage. Then simply reduce the opacity so it looks like you can see through the water, and that makes it a lot more realistic. You need to add some sound effect to give this video a more believable feel. All I did was go to YouTube, download some free water splash sound effect videos, converted them to MP3, and applied them where necessary. Basically that whatever effect you're doing, you need sound effect to drive it and make it very realistic. And it's not difficult. YouTube can give you any sound effect you want. So just go to YouTube, get free sound effect, download it, convert it to audio, and use it. That was all it took to make this video work. Like I told you, nothing really sophisticated. The most of the job was done on set. You can use this for a lot of tricks. You can use it to create a dwarf and a giant kind of video where the person who would act as the dwarf will be farther away into the distance, and the giant is closer to the camera, and they both act as though they are looking at each other. This effect works and you can use it for so many other things. So that was basically what I have for you today. I thought someone would need to know how this works, and I guess that you have been inspired by this video. Please like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and help me share this video to help it go around and sort of get to other people who would need this sort of tutorial. Thank you for sticking around. I really appreciate, and I'm looking forward to having more subscribers to build this community to at least 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so far. Thank you for being part of this. I hope I'm helping you. I hope I am inspiring you. Do have a wonderful time. See you next week. I'll be bringing another inspiring video. Until then, stay creative and have fun while at it.